Hi, Dr. Jacques Despitri, back here at the Bullpen, here with Nola Masterson with Lead Venture Partners. Nola, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm,
Sure.
I'm with Portfolio Venture Partners,
Okay.
which is a fund that women have created for women to get into venture capital.
Wonderful. Could you tell us what led you into
I'd be
joining
happy to
that?
tell you.
Yeah.
I started in venture capital with Kleiner Perkins in the early 80s as a consultant in biotech to Brook Byers. And I learned how to cook up a deal. I did IDEC Pharmaceuticals and Insight Vision and Resound, which is a hearing aid company. And I learned how to pick teams and learned from the best in that era, which was Kleiner, how to keep a deal stealth for a while and syndicate around it and have something in the leading sciences then come out later and everybody was like, oh, we want to do that.
Wow.
So that's been kind of my early training. And then in the 1990s, I started my own biotech company, which was named Sequenome. And our MO at that time was to get the mass weight of DNA, which nobody had.
Wow.
And we did it. And we took the company public in 2000 at the same time that all of the dot-coms were going public, the height of the market, and there were no genome companies except ours.
Very early
So it priced at 26 and closed the first day at 79.
Wow.
It ran to 191 until Tony Blair and Bill Clinton said, well, we're not sure we can patent genes, and then it crashed.
Oh.
But that was the Matterhorn of that year anyway for tech companies. You know, they were soaring and then coming down. And weathering that storm, I joined the firm of TBM Capital, who had backed me, and they had a German office and a Boston office, and I opened their San Francisco office for them and raised their fifth fund with them and invested in scientific tools. And they invested in a lot of diagnostics and therapeutics, especially in Germany. They were taking folks out of Roche and creating new pharmaceutical companies, which have take a longer time, but have worked out very well. And in 2018, Trish Costello, I don't know if you know who she is, but she started the Kauffman Fellows program for best practices in venture capital. Mr. Kauffman gave her some money and said, do something good with it. So for 15 or 20 cohorts, she would put men and women together for 4 months, and their fellowship was sponsored by their venture firm, and they learned best practices, and they would go back. And what she said to me was women would go back, and they were now seasoned Kauffman Fellows. They wouldn't make partner, and they didn't change the direction in which the funds would invest in. They weren't investing in women.
No way.
Yeah. So she said, the only way I'm going to change this in 2015 is to create a fund for women where women are owning the money and investing the money.
Good for her.
So she came to me in 2018. She said, would you head up the Femtech Fund, women and tech coming together, healthcare for women? And I looked at her deal memo, and it's a venture capital fund for women, but at an angel ask. We're not asking women to give $250,000 or $1 million. We're asking them to start with 10 or 25,000, and that gets spread over 10 deals or more. And the women can get on the call and watch the venture partners interrogate the new CEO that wants money and ask their own questions and get on the due diligence. And we have over now 2,000 investors, women.
No way. That's amazing.
From 18 countries and 46 states. All U.S. companies, and we don't do anything outside the U.S., but we now have a movement for women to invest in venture capital.
Thank goodness.
And to create the companies they want to see in the world. Of our funds, we have 15 of them. 3 are femtech. 2 are active aging and longevity for women, especially. And what do women need to know if their spouse dies, and how do they cope with dementia and that kind of thing. And then we have 3 funds called Rising America, which are Black, Latinx, LGBTQ women.
Nice.
And those funds are up 50% because they went into a totally untapped area that no other venture capitalist was looking at, and they've been doing great. And we have another fund for food and ag tech and green and sustainability, climate. So we're going after all of these different investment theses because we want women to have a choice of what they want to invest in. So we also have a way, we work with 2 brokers If women want to invest and they don't want to put their new money in, they can use their IRA or their 401k money, and it can be directed to one of our funds.
That's amazing. So you're creating all this opportunity for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they normally wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Of all the things that you're doing, what are the things that stand out to you the most as far as what excites you for 2024?
From 2024?
Yeah.
Well, we're raising 3 new funds. We're raising another Rising America fund, raising a 3rd FemTech fund, and what I'm really hopeful for is that the market will open up in the second half of this year when the interest rates start to go down, and we can take some of these companies public, because some of them are quite ripe and ready.
Wow.
Like Maven Pharmaceuticals and
that's a
Everly
great
Health.
one. Yeah.
They're ready. The unicorns are ready.
Yeah.
And we'd like to get some money back to our investors, but in the meantime, they're just building on their strengths, and Maven is doing a great job taking care of women, and women need that. Women need that, and they deserve it.
Absolutely.
And they deserve to be invited into venture capital, so that they can have the fun of birthing these baby companies and then helping them grow. It's a natural for women.
It's a natural, and the returns are there.
And the returns are there.
So they fit the business mandates.
Exactly.
What can the Bullpen and the Bullpen community do to help with your initiatives and your
We
goals?
would love the Bullpen to take care of some of the companies as they grow and mature, if you can add value. We love to deal flow. If it's in our space, we'd love to see that. It takes a village.
Absolutely.
To do any company, and we look for everything that we can in terms of syndicating more venture capitalists with us. No venture capital firm alone can do everything. They need to syndicate. So I understand the landscape. I understand what we need to do, and we're just young and happy to be doing it.
Absolutely.
And what I'm really happy to see is other funds that are dedicated toward women and health, like Avestria and Steel Sky and RH Capital. There are other funds now coming to be like us. We were the first to actually say we're going to put a stake in the ground for women's health, and it's working.
That's wonderful. And is there anything else you want to say before we end?
I just really, and we will take men's money. We'll take anybody's money.
Exactly.
But if you want to get on a ship that's sailing, into the seas that have never been charted before, come into Portfolio.
Absolutely. Wonderful. So if you want to learn more about Nola Masterson and Portfolio, you can go to bullpen.ventures, and the links are there. Thank you.